Hi everyone, I'm Matthias, a full-stack engineer at GitLab in the contributor success team. Today I want to highlight a specific use case we want to show that we solve by using the GitLab ecosystem, and more specific, the Duo Agent Platform and the AI catalog. I will do this by going over a journey of a developer named Sasha and show you how the GitLab ecosystem can help him to comply to the security policies set by the company he works for. So, meet Sasha. He is a Python developer working on various projects for his company. Sasha picks up a ticket to add a chatbot feature to a new project named Polaris. The project was already created in his company's GitLab instance. He clones the project locally and afterwards opens the editor to be able to browse the files. He now wants to implement the requested chatbot feature and remembers that such functionality was recently added to other projects. He searches the internal knowledge base and finds his guide from another project, Project Atlas. He dives right in, but there is a problem. He doesn't notice that the guide hasn't been updated in a while. He assumes the documentation is correct. The guide explicitly warns him to use a specific version of a library called Langflow to avoid breaking the UI. Sasha follows the instructions. He opens his terminal and installs version 130. What Sasha doesn't know is that this specific version has a critical security vulnerability that was discovered recently. But on his screen, it looks like a successful install. Now he can start implementing the actual code for his chatbot using the Langflow library. He adds the needed business logic in Python and currently skips the needed configuration to be able to connect to the backend. He goes back to the documentation to see if there is information on how to manage credentials for that connection. The wiki suggests creating a config file for local testing, but also states it should not be committed and environment variables should be used. In a rush to get the feature working, Sasha follows the example pattern. He hardcodes his actual production API key right inside the file. He thinks, I will just test this quickly, and he forgets that he's adding this to a file tracked by Git. Everything looks good, the code is working locally, and Sasha likes the result. He's ready to push the changes to the project repository. He stages the files and commits. At that point, a security Sentinel comes into action. But wait, the commit is rejected. This is our security Sentinel agent in action. Before going into the details of what the security agent found, let's pause the journey so I can show you what the crucial parts are to make this work. First and foremost, we created an agent in the AI catalog. We enabled the agent in the company's group and on the projects. The prompt of this agent is tuned for the tasks and assessments we wanted to make. We also enabled MCP support on the group, as the agent alone is not enough. We have created a sample MCP server with two tools. One that is able to make an assessment of the version of a package, and one that is able to detect secrets. Both are using existing and available ecosystems to show what is possible, but can easily be swapped by existing tools in a company. The agent is triggered by the GitLab Duo CLI in a globally installed pre-commit hook. The pre-commit hook itself acts as a messenger and ensures the assessment from the agent is presented in a readable way and options to solve or mitigate are presented. The key thing is here, all this is configured in a central, non-project specific way. I only cloned the repo and the agent was automatically triggered by the pre-commit hook. Now let's get back to the journey and have a look at what the security Sentinel found. First and most importantly, it detected the high entropy string, his API key. It recognizes the pattern as a secret credential and stopped it from leaving his machine. Second, it flagged a dependency. It knows that Langflow 130 is dangerous and blocks adding it to this version. It also presents the needed actions, such as revoking the key and updating Langflow to a secure version. The agent is also capable of auto-fixing the vulnerabilities by executing commands that mitigate the security issues. In this case by ignoring the config file and by upgrading the Langflow version. Sasha realizes the wiki was wrong, and he was too fast in committing the changed files. He chooses the manual option as he wants to take the opportunity to start using environment variables. So he updates the library to the defined version and he removes the hard-coded key, replacing it with an environment variable. The environment variable itself is stored in a separate file that is ignored by Git. After making the needed changes, he commits again. This time, success. The agent confirms the changes are in line with the security guidelines of his company. Sasha is happy. The agent prevented him from generating a security issue even before the code left his machine. So that concludes the journey. Let's recap what we accomplished here. We created an agent that acts as a security sentinel and gets activated when a developer makes a commit. The agent didn't annoy the developer. It prevented a critical vulnerability and a credential leak, all powered by the GitLab Duo Agent Platform, enforcing safety before the code ever leaves the local machine. This agent or pre-commit hook is of course not enough to guarantee the safety. Other checks and CI pipelines are needed too, but this approach definitely helps to prevent security issues as soon as possible in the development process. The best part? You can create your own agent in GitLab's public AI catalog at gitlab.com. You can create them from scratch and share them with the entire GitLab community, or duplicate and adapt an existing item. Security agents, testing agents, whatever solves real-world problems for you and your company, you can add those in the GitLab AI catalog. If you want to provide feedback on existing items, you can create an issue in the Managing Projects issue tracker. And if you're interested in contributing to your AI catalog, visit contributors.gitlab.com to start your onboarding. Thanks for watching.